Hello! Ah! There we go. Hi! Sorry, my lighter, I think it's getting a little... I need to get a new one soon. Hi! Hello! I am the Witch of Jasmine, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a reading for Libra moons. How are you doing, Libra moons? Welcome back to the channel. There it is. I hope you're doing well today. Posting this on a Monday. So I hope you have a good week ahead of you. But for now, as I'm shuffling out your cards, I invite you to take some deep breaths to calm yourself, ground yourself, center yourself, get relaxed, get comfy, and see what's going on with you guys. Maybe I can help with whatever's going on. There we go. Let's take a look at your cards. So for the Oracle card, we have Victory with Aries and the air element. Okay. All right, let's take a look at your tarot cards. We have King of Wands reversed, Four of Cups, the Star. If you hear noises in the background, that's my cat Cheralyn. Queen of Athames, aka Queen of Swords. Five of Chalices, aka Five of Cups. And Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Libra moons. It looks like for this reading, we are going to be talking about what victory is, right? Redefining what it means to be successful and be doing well. Outside of things that may be burned into our heads that are not necessarily true, right? So the real big thing that's jumping out at me in this reading is this King of Wands reversed. Now, Wands energy is a beautiful energy, right? It's associated with the fire element. It's about creativity and passion and building and growing and all that beautiful stuff. So King of Wands, he's a leader, right? He's your boss. He's the person in charge. He's the parent. He's the whatever. The problem with King of Wands reversed is that he can be very unrealistic. And in this reading, he's really coming across to me as the person who just wants more and more and more. Higher and higher profits, constantly increasing, constantly doing better. To this point where it's just very unrealistic and probably just very ego-driven. Very like just wanting to consume everything and become bigger and bigger. And the problem with King of Wands, like I said, is, well, one of the problems with him is he's the one in charge, right? He's not the one producing. He's the one who is leading those who are producing. But he is not a good leader. He is overbearing, over demanding. Yeah. And when he doesn't get his way, he doesn't see it as, oh, maybe my expectations were too high. Maybe they were too unrealistic. He takes it out on the people, right? And thinks that because they're not robots, because things aren't perfect, that means they're flawed and they need to feel bad about it and do better, right? I feel like somewhere in your life right now, in your world right now, you have one of these and is bringing about a lot of difficulty. I would imagine, based on the cards we have here, it's mostly an emotional issue, right? Having an emotional effect on you, which I'll get more into in a second, but certainly physical as well. We have Queen of Swords here below that, and with Queen of Swords, she's very misunderstood because when people look at her, they see somebody who is very cold, because she is very good, and with Swords energy in general, right? She's very good at putting aside her emotions and just doing the things she needs to do. Having that more logical and more masculine side to her. And I think that's what King of Wands wants, right? He wants people who aren't focused on their feelings, right? And are just doing what he asks because he's in charge. And because we have numbers to hit and we have standards and stuff like that. Oh, sorry, that's Halen. She's playing with a thing. However, with Queen of Swords, the biggest lesson that we're usually taking away from her is that this is very balanced. She is not throwing away her emotions and her feelings like King of Wands reverse would want you to. She's good at being very balanced in that sometimes she knows there's just things that need to be done, regardless of how she feels about it, right? She has to go to work regardless of how she feels because she needs to pay her bills, right? However, she's not throwing her feelings away. She knows that her feelings are still important. And her emotions and her mental health and her well-being are all very important as well. Neither one of those things is more important than the other, right? So what I'm getting at here is I think King of Wands wants you to believe, King of Wands reversed, I should be very clear, King of Wands reversed wants you to believe that you need to just do what he does, what he says, no matter what your feelings are. Queen of Swords tells you, well, sure, sometimes, but also there are other things more important. There are other equally important things, right? And this Queen of Swords energy is where I think it would really benefit you if you learn to stand in that and be much more balanced in that way, regardless of what this person is telling you. This balance is what you may be lacking in right now, and is what will make you truly feel victorious, right? Make you feel successful and live a successful life. He does not have your best interest at heart, right? His only interest is himself, at least King of Wands reversed. He is only interested in his ego. He's only interested in the optics. He's only interested in these things that have nothing to do with you and your well-being, right? So, I think that's set the stage a little bit. Let's talk about specific things you can focus on to help gain some sort of balance. We have 4 of Cups and 5 of Cups. That is rough. 5 of Cups tells me that you may have had some sort of loss recently. You may be grieving something. Obviously that could be like a person, a death, right? But anything that you had, maybe like a dream, something you really wanted to happen, or you really wanted to see, or you really wanted to experience, and that got taken away from you, and there's this part of you that's still really grieving that. That's 5 of Cups. And I think that is especially, along with everything else, that is especially fueling this 4 of Cups feeling, which is apathy. And normally with 4 of Cups, right, the message is to change your perspective, right? I think in the context of this reading, it's not as simple as just changing your perspective, right? Because usually what I say, the imagery in this card is we have this person who is looking at these cups that he has and is not happy, not satisfied. But if he would just get up and look, he could see that, hey, the cup that you do want, the thing that you do want, it's right there. You just got to change your perspective, right? I do think that in this reading, it's a little more than just changing your perspective. I think saying like, oh, you just need to change your perspective is kind of reductive in this case. But that is technically true. And I think what this 4 of Cups is telling us today is that what you're really battling is apathy and this boredom and this being very focused on the negative, which is probably largely not an accident, right? This person is very likely wanting you to just look at your flaws, wanting you to not trust yourself, wanting you to not feel like you're doing your best, even though when you're doing more than your best, right? And I think this loss and this grieving is just kind of making all of that worse. This 8 of Pentacles reversed here is kind of echoing what I was saying over here, right? I think with all of the hard work you have been doing and putting into, whatever it is, your school, your career, your whatever, 8 of Pentacles reversed tells me that there's not a whole lot of reward from that. There's not a whole lot of success that you're feeling with that. It feels like everything you're doing is you're just not getting enough back, right? So what this is all pointing to is this Star card, the beautiful Star card. I love seeing her. She is a beacon of hope and optimism. She comes, just for a little extra context, she comes after the Tower card. The Tower is 16, number 16, she's number 17. So she shows up at the darkest times, right? The Tower, for those of you who don't know, which the Tower's not in here, okay? I'm not saying you're gonna have a Tower moment, I promise. It's just how I like to describe her, right? Because it shows how important she is. But in tarot, the Tower card represents a very big collapse, a tower falling, a very monumental, big, powerful change where something just comes crashing down, right? So the Star comes after that. The Star comes up when the dust has settled and cleared, and you're kind of just left in this quietness of realizing, okay, this tower has fallen. This is scary and I don't know exactly what to do, but I'm going to choose to make the best out of this. And I'm going to choose to be hopeful and optimistic, even if I don't quite know yet what all of this is going to look like, how it's all going to go, what all I'm going to do. I'm going to choose hope, because at the end of the day, I cannot go through life if I don't have hope, right? So she's very powerful. It's a very simple message, but it's very powerful. So I would say that is your first step. If you're looking for a path forward from here, I think this reading is really encouraging you to, I guess we'll do a few things. Number one, recognize that this person is not treating you as though they have the best intentions for you. You know what I mean? So whatever they're saying, I really would not take it to heart. I don't, I hope this reading can give you some permission to not internalize that, which I know is really difficult, especially because this person could be somebody really close to you, you know, or somebody who you feel like should know you very well, right? And be able to make assessments and judgments of you. But their judgments of you are very flawed. And I really hope that you don't believe them when they tell you that you're not good enough or you're not doing your best. There's nothing in this reading that makes me think that you are like actually, that whatever they're saying is true or valid. It's probably not, right? So you don't have to listen to what they say. Just take all that with a grain of salt. I'll say that. I think something that would really, more of kind of a long-term goal, right? Something you want to be thinking about and moving towards is this idea of balance. That yes, there absolutely are times in life where you have to just do the things you have to do. And you have to put aside how you feel about it. Absolutely. You have to come at it from a more logical and that more like masculine type of energy, right? However, that doesn't mean throwing those emotions and those feelings away. They still mean something. They're still important. It's just sometimes, you know, if you're in a fight with somebody, you can't get all in your feelings about it. You gotta, I meant like a self-defense kind of thing. Like if you're fighting for your life, right? It's not the time to be scared. It's the time to just act, right? However, that doesn't mean you can't go home and still not address how you felt about it, right? When you come out of it, you have to be like, oh my God, that was so scary, you know, and do all the mental things you need, right? Still give yourself that mental and emotional support. That's still necessary. It's not going to just go away because you want it to go away, right? And the first step, I think, towards reaching that balance is first finding hope. Hi, Halen. I'm wrapping up, girly. Finding that hope, finding something to be optimistic about. Some sort of vision of what you would like. Maybe what that looks like. Okay, Libra moons. I'm going to leave it there. This was kind of a dense reading, but I hope it helped. Oh my God. If you have any questions about this or if you'd like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. On the shorts part of my channel, I have hundreds of videos, shorts videos, where I talk about each of the cards. I talk about their upright meaning, their reverse meaning, as well as any symbolism within them. If you'd like a recommendation of what cards you might want to look into a little more, yeah, the Star, Queen of Swords, absolutely. I mean, obviously I explained them pretty much in detail, but there's probably more information over there. Also, King of Wands reversed, if you'd like little more information, but again, I did explain it here. But anyway, Libra moons, I am wishing you so much strength through this. And I'm wishing you a lot of peace as well. It's a lot easier than it looks, or it sounds, to... No, wait. It's a lot more difficult than it sounds to change your mindset, right? That takes time. It's not linear. But remember that you're doing it for you and for your own peace. And I think that is what will make you feel truly successful. I think trying to gain this person's approval is a losing battle. They'll probably never, because you are not a robot. Right? So, all right, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!